got a lot to discuss. Yesterday, you guys know I did a whole dedicated video about how FTX may be insolvent. Okay, I say maybe, not that it is. Because I hate to spread more FUD right now, causing even a bigger bank run to happen. But I do want to give you guys all the facts. You guys make your own decision. But ever since that Alameda balance sheet came out, showing that they hold $8 billion worth of FTT, and that was a vast majority of their holdings, this got a lot of people scared. Because if FTT is really not backed by anything, it's just created by FTX, what if the value disappears? What happens to Alameda, and what happens to all the projects they have invested in, right? That's the question people are asking. So I did a whole video about this yesterday. A lot of you guys did see it, right? And it was just really concerning. And of course, CZ came out and said, well, yeah, that's very concerning. And then he decided to announce that he was selling off all of his FTT tokens, approximately at that time, $566 million worth. CZ came out, publicly said, enough is enough. We don't want another Luna situation. We are going to be safe, and we are selling off, right? So that's what happened. Since then, over the weekend, FTX users are now seeing that withdrawals are taking a very long time, anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. Before, very quick, 10, 15 minutes. But now, starting to see very, very long time indeed, right? So long, in fact, that Alameda had to, or FTX had to come out with a tweet telling people, don't worry about it, okay? Our matching engines are all running smoothly. BTC withdrawals, the node throughput is limited because there's so many people withdrawing right now, right? They had to do something. And stable coins also, because banks are closed, redemptions are slower, right? So basically, FTX had to publicly post that, yeah, we recognize BTC withdrawals are slow due to some node limitation, and stablecoins are still processing because it was the weekend. So we can't do anything about that. But regardless, it's still happening. Massive amounts of it. We're seeing stablecoins flow out. We're seeing Ethereum flow out. We're seeing Bitcoin flow out. We're seeing everything that's indicative of a bank run. That's exactly what's happening right now. I'll show you that in a little bit. But I did want to also say that CZ also responded further, saying liquidating our FTTs post-exit risk management, learning from Luna. We gave support before, but we won't pretend to make love after divorce. We are not against anyone. We won't support people who lobby against other industry players behind their backs. Onward. Interesting. This is personal now for CZ. So I guess he's not a fan of the fact that Sam Bankman-Fried has been talking with regulators, trying to get them away from DeFi, and possibly even saying bad things about Binance. Could be, because this sounds personal. This doesn't sound like it's just a generic statement. It sounds personal. And of course, someone followed up with this tweet of this. You look at top federal level mega donors, including the likes of George Soros, who was also George, Ken Griffin, and then a lot of these other guys, Peter Thiel, Larry Ellison, right? Sam Bankman-Fried is at number 4 for his political donation. So he's definitely lobbying, that's for sure. $40 million worth of contributions, okay? Obviously, $200,000 for Republicans, $37.7 million for Democrats, $2 million for nonpartisan, bipartisan. So you could see where that money's really going to, right? So Yeah, so he's definitely making moves for sure. And CZ is no fan of it at all. All right. Now, as for the reserves, a lot of people start looking at it, paying close attention to FTX, looking at what's been happening, right? And the reserves are collapsing. So Look On Chain made this note that FTX hot wallet, and he decided to post the address, so thank you to him, has decreased from 2.4 billion down to 1.8 billion. But I'm going to make a case that it's even worse. You know why? Well, let's take a look. So this is the total amount of that hot address, okay? I'm going to refresh it here. 1.95 billion, which seems pretty healthy, right? It seems pretty healthy. Until you take into account that FTT token is taking up 1.1 billion of that. So honestly, they have a lot less in their hot wallet than it seems. And they have all these, like, you know, the leverage tokens, like 3x Algorand token. Somehow they have 66 million worth, and here's a 3x Bitcoin token, right? So if you took out all those synthetic tokens, it's even less. Those synthetic tokens take up hundreds of millions also. Okay, and here's the thing. Out of everything I just showed you, it's about like 600 million, which doesn't sound too bad. But on a large scale exchange like Bitcoin, like FTX, you figure it should be a lot more than that. But here's the thing. What's really concerning is their ETH balance. Their ETH balance is only down to 9,093, which only equates to about 14 million in USD. So they only have about $14 million worth of Ethereum in their hot wallet. That is being drained very, very quickly. Now, there may be more reserves in cold wallets, okay? Maybe FTX does have a ton of cold wallets. We don't know. This is just the hot wallet. This is like basically what everyone is trading and depositing and withdrawing from. And they could open more. But if they don't have any hot wallets, and this is the remaining amount of ETH on all of FTX, well, that's not a lot at all. That could drain away really, really quickly. With bank runs, when everyone is panicking, things move very fast indeed, right? So that is very concerning. Their overall balance on their hot wallets is concerning. This bank run is happening, and I think a lot of you guys paid attention. Yesterday, you may have noticed that despite all this FTT FUD, you know who's dropping more? Solana. Solana actually dropped more than FTT. I have a couple theories about that. Number one is, well, it's been proven that 75% of FTT is owned by FTX. So there's not a lot of people that's holding FTT, so there's not a lot of people selling. But even today, they're down about 8%. But yesterday, Solana, and today you can see is down more, 12%. What does that have to do with Solana? Why is Solana going down, right? You may be wondering. It should be all FTT. It should not have anything to do with Solana. Here's the thing, and I'm trying to get confirmation, but there are people that are already digging into this. We know that Sam Bankman-Fried and Alameda and FTX are basically huge investors in Solana. If you look up the history, Solana was really saved by Sam Bankman-Fried because it was going to collapse. And he probably is the largest investor out there. Who knows how many Solana tokens he has. Most of it's probably locked up, but people are noticing that Sol is being sold, and quite possibly to replenish the ETH reserves and other reserves that's being depleted right now in FTX. Now this I cannot confirm yet. I was trying to before the stream. I ran out of time, and we'll do more research into it, but it kind of makes sense if you think about it. So this is the reason why Solana is so weak, because of this tie with SBF and with FTX and with Alameda Research. It's all linked up together. And yeah, finally, SBF probably feeling the heat. He's probably trying to do what he can to save the situation. So he just tweeted this out this morning, a few hours ago. A competitor is trying to go after us with false rumors. FTX is fine. Assets are fine. Details: FTX has enough to cover all client holdings. We don't invest client assets, even in treasuries. So that's good. If these are true, this is very good. That means whatever you deposited, they don't invest that. They don't loan it out. They don't do anything. We have been processing all withdrawals and will continue to be. Some details on withdrawal speed. I've already showed you guys that. It's heavily regulated. Even when it slows down, we have gap audits with $1+ billion excess cash. We have a long history of safeguarding our client assets that remain true today. I love it if CZ, if we could work together for the ecosystem. I mean, if he's already calling out CZ, why does he has to like dance around competitors trying to go after us? You could just say Binance, right? Like at this point, you know, you're not fooling anyone. Everyone knows is Binance. So he's pleading to CZ like, hey, don't do this to us. Let's work together for the ecosystem. But like I showed you guys, CZ is upset. I mean, this is upset. He's hurt. So SBF must have twisted a knife somewhere in CZ's back. So I don't think CZ is going to do anything unless CZ recognizes that this whole FTX thing is bringing down the entire market in a very negative way, and that maybe he'll like do a 180. But it's obvious that something happened that really hurt CZ. So he's like, enough is enough, and we'll see what happens. All right. So I'm warning you guys, giving you guys this warning. Right now it's not looking good. It's better to be safe than sorry. I'm just gonna say that after everything we have seen this year, everything that has collapsed. With Luna, with Three Arrows Capital, with Celsius, with Voyager, with BlockFi, Volt, every single project, you name it, okay? It's better to be safe than sorry right now. So just be careful with your own funds. If you're trying to withdraw, you have massive amount of delay, you know, hang in there. Hopefully you could get your money out. But right now, this is the situation. And I'm hoping that FTX and Alameda FBF come out of this, okay? I don't want to see a collapse because a collapse is not what we need right now while we're in recovery. And I do believe that Bitcoin got pulled down, the entire industry got pulled down a little bit because of this scare. Because a lot of people are looking at what happened back in May when all the other companies went under and what effect that had. So we're not looking forward to this, okay? So I'm hoping they do pull through, but we will see. We will see. You know, there's a new thing now. A lot of people now just turn off the reply bubble. You know, so usually when that happens, it's not good because you can't take the heat. But I understand right now because Twitter is very toxic, so it could be that. In addition, I don't want to throw only shade on Solana, so I do have some good news about Solana. I don't think it's fair to just put this whole thing on Solana and tie them in with FTX and whatever. But I know a lot of you guys are Solana bag holders. There are a lot of things that's still happening. There is a project that's going to bring EVM support to Solana in early December, so that's only a month away. That could be a big thing. USDC is still adding support within Solana. They're going to actually support some new stablecoin called Eurocoin in 2023. And NFTs are still rocking. And in fact, Beeple announces some new collaboration with Solana. So who knows what's going to come out of here, right? So, I mean, there's still stuff going on with Solana. We know that they have network outage issues left and right, and hopefully they can get through that. And there's still developments happening, but they are definitely tied very closely with FTX right now. All right. Now, I didn't even talk about the market or Bitcoin. So you could see today, Today, the U.S. market is in green. Unfortunately, because of Bitcoin decoupling, Bitcoin's not seeing an effect. And it could be because of all this FTX FUD and all this fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Now, I have to clear myself because some trolls out there will say FTX FUD, so you're saying this is all false? That's not what FUD means. FUD means fear, uncertainty, and doubt, okay? There's a lot of people in this space that don't even know what FUD means anymore. So when I say there's FTX FUD, that means there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt about FTX. Not that whatever is said is false, okay? I'm clarifying. But I do think it's having an effect on the market, or it needs to take a break, one or two or both together. As for Bitcoin, I mentioned about the decoupling. Michael Saylor is still talking about how Bitcoin is less volatile than the S&P 500 NASDAQ right now. And that's good. Why is it good? Because all the retail investors left, basically, and you're left with long-term holders and miners and even institutions that are all jumping in right now, right? You combine all that, this is the reason why Bitcoin's so stable. And it's looking like it wants to make a move, but we may have a hiccup or a bump in the road because of what I just said, right? But, all the charts, the on-chain metrics show that Bitcoin is still doing fine. Here's one that's showing that Bitcoin is following the Adam and Eve pattern. Now, that's interesting. I never heard of that pattern, but I guess that exists. Also, you have, of course, people are looking at oversold levels, right? Whenever MEXC is flipping, and when you have Bitcoin depressed for a very long time, that usually indicates good things are coming.